Collette Michaud, and I'm CEO of the Children's Museum of Sonoma County, and today we're going to be making Christmas cookies. I've been making Christmas cookies for almost all my life, ever since I was a little girl. So when I had kids of my own, we started making Christmas cookies as well. And so even to this day, my boys still like helping me make Christmas cookies. Right, Ian?
That is right.
So as you can see, he's grown up now, but you still like making Christmas cookies. What is it about Christmas cookies that you like making?
That's a great question. I definitely like decorating them, and they taste delicious.
All right then, let's get started with the supplies that you'll need to make your Christmas cookies. First, you'll need some Christmas cookie cutters. As you can tell, I have quite the collection. I've been collecting them over the years. Ian, which one is your favorite Christmas cookie cutter?
Definitely the Christmas tree and the gingerbread man, because they make the biggest cookies.
Ah, okay. Well, as you can see, there's quite a few different ones. I like to try to add one a year, and this year I added a honeybee. Next, you'll need some just regular old wax paper, a rolling pin, flour, and I recommend a really thin spatula, sort of like this, which allows you to get right underneath the cookies and get them up and off of the counter and onto the cookie sheet. You'll also want some different colored sugars to decorate your cookies with. You can use any kind of this sort of sugar, but I wouldn't recommend using these balls because they tend to roll off the cookies and the chocolate sprinkles tend to melt. So I recommend just sticking with the sugars or frosting your cookies. Now it's time to get out the dough. So you want to keep your dough in the refrigerator so it's really nice and cold. So it can be super hard when you pull it out, but that's a good thing. You want it to be cold. So you get out a big chunk and then be sure to put it back in the refrigerator so that it's nice and cold. So next, we want to put out some flour. You want to be generous with it because you don't want it to stick to your counter or wherever you're rolling it out. I like to kind of smash it down, get it sort of down a little bit, pull it up, move the flour around again, and now this is where you put the wax paper over the top and you start to roll it out. And at first it's going to do this sort of thing where it pulls up the wax paper, which is fine. You just pull up the wax paper, sort of push it down again nice and flat, and then you go again. And you just keep doing that, pulling it up, and if you need to, you can kind of smush it together. And again, put the wax paper down. What you want to do is after a while it'll get nice and soft. And you want to get it to where it is basically 1/4 of an inch thick. And there, I think we're ready to cut the cookies. And now it's time to cut the cookies out. And this is a great time for your kids to get involved. So Ian is going to show us how it's done. So what you want to do is you want to press the cookies down, kind of move them back and forth a little bit. You can push them out. And you want to try to cut the cookies as close together as possible, almost like a puzzle, so that you're leaving as little dough as possible around each of the cookies. Now it's time to pick the cookies up. And this is where having a really nice thin spatula comes in super handy. So you just want to move the dough that's not being used out of the way and then gently pick up each of the cookies from the counter, and it helps to have flour down. Okay, so now you're left with all the scraps. All you do is push them all together again. Make sure you have some flour out on your counter. Put them down, put it down, squish them all together again. Get out your wax paper. And again, you want to just, then it's Ian's turn again. Now that you have your cookies all laid out and ready to decorate, I think this is the funnest part, right, Ian?
Right.
So do you have any tips for how to decorate cookies since you've been doing it so many years?
Just have fun and be creative.
Sounds good. Nice job, Ian. They're beautiful. So now it's time to put your cookies into the oven and cook them. Okay, cookies are all done. Time to pull them out. Stop the timer. And they look just right. A little bit brown around the edges. That's exactly what you want them to look like. So they're going to be very, very fragile. And you want to be careful when you put them out on the cookie sheet. Give them a chance to cool off before you eat them because they're too hot right out of the oven. Thanks for joining us today and making Christmas cookies. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for your help, Ian.
No problem.
Even Lucy likes Christmas cookies. Right, Lucy? Yeah. Happy holidays, everyone.